Hi, I'm Jay Height, and it's September. It's hard to believe. We're into the school year, and Christmas will be here pretty quick. I had the privilege to sit down and chat with Phil Edwards about the work he is doing and his team at Purdue Polytech High School and at Arsenal Tech. Let's hear that story. I'm here with Phil Edwards, the OG.
The OG.
Doing amazing things at Arsenal Tech and Purdue Polytech. Share with our listeners and viewers what happened just a few days ago on a Thursday at lunch.
Well, good question to ask. We had an unbelievable celebration at Arsenal Tech. The students were offered a challenge, a 20-day non-incident challenge, in which if students did not have any fights or anything like that, they would receive a cookout. And so three classes of the four classes at Tech were able to celebrate. We had a celebration in their honor, and we had plenty of food: hot dogs, burgers, tacos, a lot of fun, lots of grilling, because there were more than 1,000 students that were present.
It's wild. You and I were in that initial meeting some time ago, a year and a half ago, where this idea was presented, and I thought, they are not going to do this just for hot dogs and hamburgers, but this is the third time we've done it.
It is the third time.
What is it that makes it work?
I don't know if I have the formula for what makes it work, but I do believe the students they get excited when they can win something, and especially when they can get some food. But the most important thing is that this 20-day challenge is helping to create culture, to change a culture among high school students at Tech, especially, that desire to be in a safe place and to have fun. They're kids, and they need to be able to act like kids and to be able to enjoy things that kids enjoy, like a hot dog and a burger during school hours.
Tell us a little bit more. What are some of the things that you're doing and your team is doing inside of the schools?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, we started engaging with students, just wanted to create safe places for them to talk about whatever they're going through. But last year, we had the opportunity to establish 2 reset rooms. And in these rooms, they're on the campus at Tech in 2 different buildings, and these rooms create that safe place for students to come to help process some of the things that they're facing. It helps the administration, especially for students who are struggling with their grades, attendance, as well as behavior. And so we're able to help the teachers and the administration by pulling those kids aside, having one-on-one conversation, in some respects, group conversations about just what's mattering to them, what's their matter is. And so we get a chance to ask probing questions, but more so than anything else, we are there to listen so that we're able to offer them some advice.
Talk a little bit about trauma-informed care.
Yeah, very good question. So personally, I've experienced a great deal of trauma as a kid. And for many years, I had never done anything with that. I've never shared those issues or realities that I had growing up as a kid. And so what we do in our reset rooms as it relates to trauma-informed care is that we talk about our traumas. We talk about terrible things that have happened to us, the kiddos do, and then we get a chance to talk about triggers. In the event that someone says something or does something before a kid and they are triggered or they're reminded of their previous trauma, we get a chance to help them to understand where the triggers come from, and to be able to process those triggers when they are experiencing that. So it's being able to help a kid acknowledge when they are affected by their past traumas, and then be able to give them some tools, grounding tools, where they can take deep breaths, they can clear their heads, and to be able to sit in their pain. Now, no one likes pain. I get it. I don't like pain. But in this case, when you're able to talk about what has happened to you, and then to come to realization that perhaps it wasn't your fault. And so for you to be able to acknowledge that it wasn't your fault and that you're able to recover from those traumatic experiences is very hopeful. So that's what trauma-informed care is about. It's acknowledging the pain and then being able to sit in it with the intent to achieve hope in the situation.
Yeah, we all have scars.
Yeah.
They don't have to define us, but they do help tell our story.
For sure.
And shape our story.
Yes.
As you are talking to kids today, what would they want our viewers to know?
I would say this: students want parents, adults alike, to know that they need to be heard. And quite often, kids would say that people, adults, the big people, parents, they listen to them in order to respond, but they don't listen to understand. And so kids want to be heard, and they want people to understand from their perspective what they're going through, so that they can in turn see the seriousness of life, and they can be able to explain where the pain is and why they hurt, so that they can be able to be validated.
We think communication is about talking, and what the world needs, what our youth need, is listening.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I am thankful for the work that you're doing in the schools. How could someone who says, you know, I want to help invest in a life? As I've said, often every student will be mentored. The questions by who? The streets are willing to mentor our kids, and we see the tragedy of that. How could someone who says, I want to help?
Yeah, I would say the most important thing is prayer. And to call the kids by their name before the ultimate creator, before God. And so kids want to be known. So obviously, if you say we see you and we're praying for you, that is critically important. I think being able to create a community for them, to extend their community by way of bringing other resources. And it could be counseling. There could be an opportunity for adults to provide funds to offer counseling for our youth. Core snacks. If you want to get into some really good conversation with kiddos, bring forth the snacks. And so if individuals want to purchase some snack items that we can stock our reset rooms with, would be a huge help for sure.
You know, one of the things that you and I've talked a lot about is maybe someone says, I can come twice a month at lunch, and I'll just sit in and talk to students. It's a little unnerving.
It is.
It's a little overwhelming, but
Right.
man, if you're called, that's a great way to come and talk. You don't have to have the answers.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
You just have to have the willingness to listen, or breakfast. Finally, Phil, thank you for the journey from the inner city of Atlanta, Georgia, to Indianapolis, the OG. The kids respect you, and I hear so many times that the difference you're making, and I appreciate the folks who make it possible for you and your team and so many others to be there. I think when we did the cookout, there was 15 staff.
Yeah.
They're helping.
Quite a few.
That's great. And we want to invest in our kids, and we appreciate the job you and your team are doing. Please tell them great job.
Thank you, Jay. We will.
Thank you, Phil. And for you and your team and the great job they're doing inside of our local high schools and middle school, thank you. And to everyone who made it possible to do the picnic, we appreciate that as an investment in our students. Educate to Employment, our programming for middle school and high school students, E2E, works in the out-of-school learning time. And we're going to hear from Brandon, who helps lead that team, and some of the students in what they're doing to continue to move forward in out-of-school learning time.
I'd like to go to college. I'm thinking either into finance or somewhere in computer science or computer engineering.
The real trick is convincing them that they're worthy of being loved. And I think that they get that here. My name is Brandon Lindsay, and I'm a youth employment coach here at Shepherd. E2E is education to employment. We wanted to focus not just on building relationships with the students, but also really equipping them to make decisions about their life and to think about what they want their life to look like when they grow up. Students, they are overwhelmed with worry, with anxiousness. And so prompting a young adult to think about their whole life ahead of them can trigger some of these negative feelings that they have or these ideas that have been instilled in them from a young age about what their future ought to look like. And then for the semester, you wrote to do good. How so? I've found it effective to talk with the students, not about what's the rest of your life going to look like, what's the next step?
At first, I wanted to be a firefighter when I was younger, but now I've seen different options and it's been a very big help.
I don't want them to think there's a right or wrong choice. I just want them to feel confidence and supported in the choice that they make. There are more and more students who are opening up about what is going on in their life. They want us to be a part of their life outside of Shepherd. They want us to go to their robotics tournaments and their volleyball games and their quinceañeras. And they want to be seen by the leaders, they want to be seen by their peers, and that's what happens here.
During the summer camp program, he was really there and had deep talks with me about my life and what was going on. And he's walked me through those things, and he's really nice. I love him.
You can break yourself out of material poverty and still be poor in spirit. And that's what I think our team is concerned with, helping our students to see how rich they are when they have love, when they have God, when they have the communion of faith with them.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends here.
We will always strive for programmatic excellence in what we do. But while they are here, the real thing that they're going to get is they're going to be seen by another person and they're going to become a part of a family.
We appreciate everyone who's doing a great job investing in our students. Every student will be invested in. Every student will be mentored. The question's by who? So thank you, Renee. Thank you for Brandon and the whole team. Thank you for Phil and his whole team, and for you who make it possible for us to be here investing in these kids' lives. Thank you for those who donate. Thank you for those who donate items that we use. This month, we can always use snack items that we use in the schools for students when they come in and talk to us or in the after school time. We can always use Kleenex, trash bags, those things. If you'd like to donate them, go to our Amazon wish list on our website and you can help donate. You can also listen to our podcast at Breaking the Cycle of Poverty. It is there that we do a little deeper dives into some of the things that are happening, both issues and programs, and great conversations with friends of Shepherd Community. So you can check out wherever you find your podcast there. Some exciting updates in the Ruby project. We are busy now beginning the transformation of Advanced Auto to the new programs and services that we're providing. This is a new opportunity for us to bring additional services to our community and to invest in the lives of our neighbors. And so thank you for those who've made that possible. If you'd like to stop by and volunteer some hours, we could use help. If you have teams that could, we would be happy to use you. Or if you'd just like to come by and see what's happening, we could share with you those details and give you a tour. We're looking forward and lots of conversations as we move forward, remembering the rich foundation of 40 years as we look forward to the next 40. Thanks and have a great month.